In this video, we'll migrate from createReducer to createFeature, an NGRX function that gives us automatic selectors and fully typed state. In the component, we retrieve the store using the select signal function, which allows us to access the entire store and select specific parts. However, this store isn't typed yet. We need to create a type for our store structure, including counters and to-dos, but it can be a bit cumbersome. Here we can see that writing a non-existent state ABC doesn't cause a compile time type error, but instead leads to a runtime error because we're trying to access a property that doesn't exist. So, how can we create more strongly typed code? There are several options, but one of the simplest is using NGRX 15's new feature called createFeature, which does all this for us and more. Let's take the old reducer, cut it, and set it aside. We'll rename the function to counterFeature and use the new createFeature utility. This utility lets us define the name, which is essentially the property name in our store, the one we initially used in app config to specify that the counter reducer had a key called counter. Then we define reducer directly here using the reducer property and paste what we cut earlier, which is our previous reducer. Now we need to return to app config and replace the counter reducer, which no longer exists, with counterFeature. However, this isn't a reducer, so we need to access its reducer through the reducer property. We no longer need the name property as we've defined it within the feature. In fact, this entire line can be replaced simply with counterFeature. So within the feature, you also define the key used to access it. Let's remove counter reducer, which no longer exists, and you'll see the app works just as before. Now let's return to the app component. Another advantage is the automatic creation of selectors. We no longer need to manually write the selection for our counter. Instead, we can use our feature, which exposes a property called select, followed by the property name. In this case, select value, which is already typed, giving us direct access to selector without manual typing, eliminating potential errors. This brief playlist is complete. It aimed to showcase NGRX's potential and demonstrate how it's been simplified over time, as Redux and NGRX have a reputation for being somewhat complex. While it's not the simplest pattern, its benefits are numerous. I've written a book, which is another reason I created this playlist. It contains a wealth of theoretical information and many practical examples to help you learn new techniques, implement this pattern, and discover how to use it in more complex scenarios, such as server-side operations, authentication processes, and more. You'll find everything on NGRX, with the first chapters covering. The other is free, so you can review these operations we've done in these videos by following the book. There are also premium chapters that you can purchase with a subscription. The book is in English, but I'm not a native speaker, so it should be fairly easy for everyone to understand. If you have questions, feel free to contact me on LinkedIn, Telegram, or other social media. You can also leave a comment below the video and I'll get back to you. I hope this short playlist has piqued your interest and that you enjoyed it. See you in the next videos. Bye bye.